Hi guys! Today I'm going to talk to you about the symbolism in the Empress card. The Empress card is filled with symbols of sensuality and femininity and abundance, so that is the meaning of the card as well. Also, the yellow, there's a lot of yellow in the Rider-Waite deck in the Major Arcana card, and it really does grab your attention. And the Empress is no different, really. Like, it's about a lot about the intellect and about cerebral processes as well. So the Empress is also, it also denotes being very intelligent and making good decisions as well. She has a crown of stars, 12 of them all up, which relates well to the 12 star signs in the zodiac. She's connected to Venus, as you can see here. She has a sign of Venus, and there are more here. So that's a planet for sensuality, abundance, and love. It is a love planet. So love is very important when the Empress shows up. And when the Empress is the seeker, it's important to have love in your life. If you're not happy in a relationship, it can turn you into I've seen people who really are the Empress archetype, and when they are unhappy in relationship, they turn into terrible people. They are really like the most vicious people. They need to be in a happy relationship. If not, they're like the opposite, really, of what the Empress signifies, which is love and nurturing, and really a lot of kindness as well. But the Empress also is someone who could be a little bit demanding. As you can see, it's a woman on her throne, and she has a wand, so she can create with that wand, but she can also demand things. So if you get the Empress reversed in your reading, it often then speaks of someone who is cruel and neglectful. And if you look at her gown, it's full of pomegranates, and pomegranate is a fruit that is really, it's quite easy to grow. I have a pomegranate tree in my garden, and it's now bringing beautiful fruit, and it's just grown so quickly. So it also it speaks of having in excess. You have enough, you have more than enough to go around. And the same thing with wheat as well. It's like you have more than enough to sustain yourself, to support yourself. And that is really what the Empress means, that you're not going to be poor, you're not going to go without, you're going to have plenty. And I haven't really taken much notice of the waterfall, but there is a waterfall here as well. It's easy to ignore it because of all the yellow, and the yellow is a color that really grabs your attention. But the waterfall is really a feng shui symbol of abundance. So if you want to bring in some feng shui into your life, you can plant pomegranates, you can have a water feature. You really will bring in the energy of the Empress that way. So when the Empress shows up in your life, you could potentially become much more abundant and happier, and also maybe you will meet someone. If you're single, you'll be able to attract someone in. If you're already in a relationship, it could be a happy time in your relationship. If you want children, this is also this card also symbolizes fertility, and you can see that in the pomegranate revealing its the red the red seeds. So it really speaks of fertility, and the water too, it nurtures the garden, so it really means that everything will grow. This is a fertile time in your life. If you don't want to have children, or maybe you have children you don't want any more, then it can be that you have a lot to give your children now. And if this is in regards to career, it could be that you have a lot to offer your workplace, and you can turn any workplace into a beautiful space. You could potentially even think about what's the next step in your career that will bring you more abundance and love and happiness. So being happy at work is incredibly important because we spend so much time there. So when you really want to manifest a bit of the Empress element into your career, at home we can create our space, but the Empress also speaks of having a beautiful space where we are working. So the Empress needs to have love in her life. If she's unhappy in relationships, she often turns them into kind of nasty and cruel and very demanding. But when she's happy, she is really the very loving and kind and wise and intelligent woman who, if she's your friend, she's someone you can depend on. If she's your mother, you probably have a very close relationship. You know, if it's you, if it's the seeker, you know, you're in a good place in your life. And if you're a man and this is your partner, then you could be extremely like in love or have a lot of love for your partner. And there's a lot of respect there as well. But what happens sometimes, and I've seen this in relationships, that where the woman was the empress, kind of like the archetype, because of the power she often gained in relationships. Sometimes that power, I've seen it abused, where they stop respecting their partner. They know they can get away with a lot of cruelty, and they become very sort of vicious and mean, instead of appreciating the, you know, being kind of put on a pedestal and all that. It's a lot of times I've seen that kind of being abused as well, and it never ended really. It never ends well then. So it's about appreciating the people that appreciate you as well. So that is what the Empress really mean, and that's what you can see in the symbolism as well. Bye.